Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into a genuinely awe-inspiring topic today, the natural world. I mean, we're surrounded by life in all its complex glory every single day, right? But today, we're breaking down exactly how science actually begins to categorize it all. There is literally no time to waste, so let's get right to the source material.
We have to start right here with this quote, "How wonderful is the living world?" It's such a beautifully simple statement, but it perfectly captures the expansive reality of life on this planet. It really anchors everything we're about to look at today. Because, before we get into the heavy biological science, we just have to acknowledge that baseline universal reaction to nature, which is pure wonder.
And honestly, that sense of wonder, that's the perfect jumping-off point for the foundational text we're unpacking today. This excerpt really sets the boundaries, the tone, and the ultimate questions we'll be tackling. So let's break down what this framework is actually telling us piece by piece so we can really understand how scientists look at the world.
All right, moving into Section 1, Extraordinary Habitats and Diversity.
Now notice the sheer understatement of the word amazing here. The wide range of living types isn't just some fun piece of trivia for a pub quiz, it's a profound biological reality. When you step back and really consider the sheer mind-boggling variety of forms life takes on this planet, it naturally leaves us totally speechless. Life has somehow figured out how to exist in ways we couldn't even dream up. And seriously, just look at where it exists. Life doesn't just stick to the comfortable, easy zones. We find living organisms absolutely thriving in freezing cold mountains, sprawling deciduous forests, deep crushing oceans, and freshwater lakes. We find them in scorching, arid deserts, and get this, even in boiling hot springs. The adaptability on display here is just staggering. Everywhere we look, no matter how extreme or hostile the environment, life has somehow carved out a home. But hey, it's not just about surviving, is it? It's about the spectacular ways life moves and interacts. Think about the raw power and physical beauty of a galloping horse, or the sheer instinctual mass coordination of migrating birds crossing entire continents. Picture a massive, vibrant valley of flowers, or the terrifying, perfectly evolved precision of an attacking shark. These aren't just everyday biological events, they are striking visual masterpieces that evoke a very deep, very real sense of awe. But you know what? Visual beauty and raw action are really just the surface level.
Which brings us to Section 2, Macro to Micro Complexity.
Consider for a second the grand sweeping scale of ecology, the constant, complex conflict and cooperation happening among whole populations and communities of organisms. It's like a massive, highly visible chess game of survival. Now, juxtapose that massive survival game directly against the microscopic molecular traffic happening right this very second inside a single cell. The exact same level of dizzying, chaotic complexity exists in the invisible structures inside us as it does in the grandest forests on Earth. It perfectly illustrates the depth of life's complexity across absolutely every scale of existence. When you stack all this up, the extremes, the beauty, the microscopic chaos, it naturally forces us to pause.
And that leads us to Section 3, the ultimate question.
What indeed is life? Seriously, take a moment and really consider that. When you're faced with a galloping horse, a microbe surviving in a boiling spring, and intricate molecular traffic, we have to step back and ask, what actually ties all these incredibly different things together under the singular umbrella of living? Well, it turns out that massive question actually contains two very different concepts hidden right inside it.
Let's break those down in Section 4, Science versus Philosophy.
On one hand, we have the technical question. What makes something living as opposed to non-living? What are the biological mechanics, the physical rules of the game? Then, on the other hand, we have the philosophical question. What is the purpose of life? Why are we actually here? These are two entirely different realms of human thought. One is constantly searching for mechanics and observable traits, while the other is searching for ultimate, existential meaning.
Now here is exactly where we have to draw the line. As scientists, we shall not attempt answering the second question. It is literally that simple. Science just isn't equipped to tell you the meaning of it all. By cleanly setting these strict boundaries, we avoid getting lost in the philosophical weeds and ensure we stay completely grounded in observable, testable reality. Honestly, that is the true power of the scientific method.
Which brings us to our final laser-focused objective, the real driving force of biology. We will try to reflect on what is living. This is the technical scientific journey we're on.
By stripping away the philosophy, we empower ourselves to look clearly at the physical evidence of the world and find the fundamental rules that govern existence itself. So, as we wrap up this explainer and you go about your day observing the natural world around you, I want to leave you with this to ponder. If you had to define the exact, precise boundary between a highly complex machine and the absolute simplest living organism, what specific, measurable trait would you look for first? Keep that thought with you. Thank you so much for exploring the living world with me today.